Thanks for joining me for practice. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel and share it with your family and friends. In the description is a link to my Patreon account. If you'd like to offer a donation, it's greatly appreciated. Thank you. So move the flesh from the sit bone, sit tall. Close your eyes. You can just come into a comfortable seated position like Sukhasana, or if you prefer, half lotus. And anchor the sit bones down into the earth. Lift through the crown of the head. Draw the chin in, let the back of the neck lengthen. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And take a moment to watch the breath come in through the nostrils. Move past the back of the throat, past the heart, solar plexus, even past the belly, and feel the pressure of the breath into the pelvic floor. And then on the exhalation, lift the pelvic floor, belly, squeeze the rib cage, press the breath back out through the chest, past the throat, and out through the nasal passages and the nostrils. So that slow inhale in and all the way down, even to the pelvic floor. Pelvic floor softens to receive the breath. And exhale, engagement, slight engagement of the pelvic floor to push the process of the breath back up and out. So long, slow, deep breaths. And as you're doing this, see if you can take your time with it, almost as if you were sipping the breath in through a straw. Keep the shoulders relaxed, the face and jaw soft. And then on the inhalation, as you breathe in and down, think of the breath as nourishment. So sipping nourishment into the body, taking it as far down as you can. And then you're going to retain that nourishment for a count or two. So hold the breath in just for a moment or two. And then on exhalation, you're going to let the air, the carbon dioxide out, anything you need to release, but we're going to maintain that nourishment inside the body. And then repeat it again. Bring in even more on the next inhalation, and so on. If you haven't already added in a soft ujjayi, you can bring that in. This helps also to narrow the breath, creating more of that straw-like suction. And as you feel more and more nourishment entering the body, filling every single cell, begin to get the sense that your container is filling up. So like a gas tank, you could see where you're running on full already, maybe in the middle, maybe on empty. But as you bring more breath in, we are really getting to that point of fullness and fulfillment. So 3 more here, please. Yesterday we just had that big full moon and the lunar eclipse. And there was this big sense of completion that tends to come with the full moon anyway. And so sometimes, like when we have big projects or things that we're working on, things we want to accomplish, it's like they come to this culmination, to this point. And then it's at that point, then we release it and let it go. And we move on to the next thing without attachment or staying longer than we should with something. And so in that fullness, there's really this experience of, coming to the end of things, completion. So notice in your own life, was there anything in your life that was kind of coming to a head? Anything that you've been completing? And now just that inner thought of, it is done. It is done. And we go back in and we replenish, we nourish, and this is our practice today. So bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let your thumbs touch your sternum. Bow your head to your hands and know this to be the intention for the practice today. And whatever your form of nourishment might be different than somebody else's. So it's okay. Just acknowledge that setting this intention draws the right energies to you in the way that you best need them. If you have something specific in mind, bring that into your intention now. And place this in the heart and surround it with unconditional love. We'll begin the practice with the chant of Om 3 times. Deep inhale in. And then a long exhale out. And take another deep inhale in. Just lower your chin to your chest. And take a moment to slowly open your eyes and come back into the room. And we'll make our way into tabletop position. So bring the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and the tops of the feet pressing firmly into the earth. Inhale, heart lift, sit bones lift as you look up. Exhale, draw the navel back to the spine, round the back, and take the sit bones to the heels for child's pose. And then inhale, come back up. Heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, round the back, take the sit bones to the heels, child's pose. 3 more. Inhaling up and get that inhale all the way into the pelvic floor to the tip of the tailbone. And then exhale, begin to push that breath out from the tailbone back out through the nostrils. Last 2 on your own. And on the final one, you're going to go down and widen the knees and let the heart come forward through the legs. Arms reach forward, head and neck is relaxed. If you'd like, come up onto your fingertips for a moment. Let the inner palm lift. Let the heart dip a little closer to the earth. Breathe here. Tips of the shoulder blades draw down your back. You can release the palms back down. 1 more breath. And then walk your hands to the right. Bow the left rib cage. Let the hips sink. Soften the left shoulder. Release the head and neck. And send the breath into any area that feels tight or stuck. Really work on, where do I need nourishment? One more. And then over to the other side. Bow the right rib cage. Let the right hip soften down now. Let that right shoulder grow heavy. Breathe here. Last one. And then walk back to center. Walk your hands back. Slowly draw your knees in. Sit tall on both heels. And just rest your hands gently in your lap. You can do Dhyana Mudra if you'd like. Left hand under the belly, right hand on top, thumbs touch. A tall spine, shoulders away from the ears. Close the eyes and just feel. So we're just going to move dynamically in and out here and bring in a chant. So the chant is Om Somaya Namaha. And Soma is that nourishment that we've been talking about, and receiving that nourishment, particularly here from the moon. So hands onto the sacrum. Stand on your knees, bring your right arm up and over your head. Lift and lengthen through your core. And then exhale, take the hand to the sacrum and bring the forehead to the floor, navel to the spine. Inhale, stand on your knees again. Left arm reaches up, extending through that left side body. Exhale, bring the hand to the sacrum, forehead to the floor, navel to the spine. Repeat. Inhale, right arm. Now we're going to add in that chant, so it's going to sound like this. Om Somaya Namaha. Left side, inhale. Om Somaya Namaha. Right arm. Om Somaya Namaha. Left arm. Om Somaya Namaha. Inhale both arms. And you'll sit on your heels with the chant nice and slow. Om Somaya Namaha. Hands down to lap if they're not already there. And just rest. Feel the experience of Soma, the nourishment, flowing through the body. Okay, so we'll come back forward into tabletop position. This time we're going to bring our elbows down into the mat, wrap the hands around the middle part of the arms, and interlace the fingers, press the forearms down, or spread the palms wide with the forearms parallel. Tuck the back toes under, lift the sit bones up and back, and come into forearm down dog, or dolphin variation of down dog. Now the feet are still hip distance like they are in down dog, and the toes are turned in slightly, heels are out, inner thighs are rolling in and back. Sit bones are lifted, especially that tailbone, pelvic floor, reaching up to the heavens. And then the upper body is really set in the shoulders for the most part. Head and neck is relaxed. You're going to let go through the neck, but press down through the forearms, particularly through the web of the index and thumb. And just stay here for a few breaths, just letting the body open up in this way. Each exhalation, see if you can draw the navel deeply in and up under the rib cage, hollowing out the belly.
And even in that emptying out sensation, it's that purging of and letting go of anything that no longer serves, so that as you breathe in, it's a more complete filling in the body of that nourishment, that sustenance, prana. Keep finding areas of tension you can release, particularly in the neck or face. Two more. And then lower your knees down. Once again, you're going to sit tall on your heels, hands resting in the lap, and just feel. Maybe feel a slight melting sensation as the blood draws back into the body. And then pay attention to your breath and just listen for Om Som inside the breath. So Om on inhalation, Som on exhalation. And as you hear that, that can become your consistent internal mantra for the practice today. Sort of a shortened version of the chant we just did. And now fingertips are going to point behind you. Open your eyes, ground into the hands, and stretch the front of the body. And feel the heart spread, feel the shoulder spread, any tension that you carry in that upper back, chest, neck, maybe rounded shoulders. Feel that releasing here, countering that. Reminding the muscles to stay long and spacious, and then fill them with breath so nourishment gets in there, especially if they were closed off a little bit. One more. And then roll off the fingertips, pull the heart forward, sit tall again, and just feel. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, you're going to take them out wide and twist your navel to the right. So arms come down, twist just the torso to the right. Inhale, bring the arms back up over the head. Palms touch, you're back into neutral position. And then exhale, bring the arms down to shoulder distance and twist your navel to the left. Again, inhale. So we don't do a lot of twisting at the beginning of practice, but here we don't have anything to pull ourselves deeper into the twist other than our own flexibility. So just a nice way to start warming the body up into some of that purging and clearing out. Inhale back. One more to each side. Om on inhalation, Som on exhalation. Inhale, come back. And once again, exhale, arms down onto the lap. Good. Slide forward into tabletop position. And this time we'll move into traditional downward facing dog. So heart lifts, sit bones lift. Exhale, tuck the toes, and find down dog. Now, if you want to pedal the feet, bend one knee and press the other heel down. Bend the other knee, press the other heel down. Anything you need to feel comfortable here. And then find the feet hip distance apart, just like you did for dolphin. As you feel the sit bones lift a little higher, make sure you roll your shoulder heads away from your ears and hug the inner elbows toward one another. And press down firmly through the web of the index and the thumb. Keep hollowing out the belly like you did before. So that engagement of Mula and Uddiyana Bandha, just creating more support for the spine. 2 more breaths here, please. Last one. And come onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, look at the hands, step forward to your fingertips. Forward folding over the legs, navel in and back. Just let everything soften. And then keep a little bit of a micro bend in your knee. And then bring either your hands to your shins or hook your index, middle thumb around your big toe. We're going to do some extension. So inhale, pull the chest away from the thighs, straighten your arms, straighten your spine. As best as you can, straighten your legs. And then exhale, bend your knees, bend your elbows, and relax your head and neck. And repeat that again. Inhale, pull away, sternum reaches away from pubic bone. Exhale, melt, let go, surrender. Again, inhale as you breathe in. You're going to feel that nourishment getting all the way into the sensitive areas of the body. And exhale, melt. Good. 3 more, please. There's no rush. When you finish the last one, you'll just stay in the forward fold. Now, you can release the bind or keep the bind on your feet. It's up to you. Or you can keep your hands on your shins or maybe wrap them around the backs of the shins to hold on. Whatever feels right. But body weight comes forward in the balls of the feet just so that we have more of a balanced pressure on the inner foot and outer foot, ball and heel. And then lift your hips as high as you can. And you could keep that micro bend in the knee. That's perfectly fine. Let the weight of the head do some traction for the spine. So really let go through the neck, upper back. And where are your sensitive areas? Where do you feel that tension? Can you send the nourishment there, that Om Som breath? Keep letting go. 2 more. Good. And then this time we're going to bend the knees nice and deep. Bring your hands to your hips, scoop the heart, and slowly rise up to standing. And just take a moment to roll the shoulders up and back and just release some of that tension from the upper back. Find standing mountain pose and just feel all that spaciousness. Breathe here. We are going to go back to the front of our mats. Big toes touching, space between the heels. Just classic sun salutation A today. So hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, navel to spine as you forward fold. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose. Hands on the shin or floor. Exhale, step back to plank position. And for the first round, knees to floor. Lift the toes, squeeze the elbows tight till the belly comes down. Tops of the feet ground. Inhale, elbows and shoulders pull up. Really stretch the lower belly. And then exhale, navel up and back, downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Now that you're in down dog for 5 breaths, again, hollow out the belly, pull the navel deeply in and up. Breathing as a form of nourishment. Om Som. And on the completion of your 5th breath, rise onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, step or lightly hop forward. Inhale to monkey pose with a flat back. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, lift and rise. All the way up, arms reach. And exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do it again. Inhale, lengthen, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold, navel to spine. Inhale, halfway to monkey, flat back. And exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. Again, knees can lower, squeeze the elbows tight, tops of the feet come down. Inhale, cobra, low ribs on the floor. Really feel that stretch of the heart. And then exhale, navel up and back, downward facing dog, 5 breaths.
Keep lowering those heels down. Keep reaching the sit bones up and away. Ujjayi breathing, nice and steady. And then finish that last one. Come onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees, look at your hands, step or lightly hop forward. Inhale to monkey pose with a flat back. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, monkey pose, flat back. Exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. This time, leave your knees lifted if you can, chaturanga. Inhale, roll over the toes into upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. 5 full breaths. Head and neck is soft. Keep hugging inner elbows toward one another. Press through the hands. Come onto the balls of the feet at the bottom of that 5th one. Look at your hands. Step or lightly hop forward. Inhale to monkey pose, flat back. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, lift and rise. All the way up, arms reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. You can leave knees lifted or lowered, your choice. Chaturanga. Inhale, knees down, it's cobra. If they're up, it's up dog. And exhale to down dog, 5 breaths. So feeling some of the heat begin to build, utilizing that heat here. Again, that aids the cleaning and clearing out process so that we have room to receive more nourishment. Completion of that 5th breath, balls of your feet, bend your knees, look at your hands, step or lightly hop. Inhale, monkey, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach. All the way up. Exhale, hands to heart, just one more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step or lightly hop back, plank, chaturanga your way. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog, 5 breaths. One more complete breath here, full nourishment. And exhale at the bottom of the breath, bend the knees, look at the hands, step or lightly hop forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart or down by your side. Find Samastiti. Mountain pose, breathe. And utilize that warmth. Where are the sensitive areas of the body? Where do we need support? Back at the front of your mat, hands to your hips, take a step to your right and turn your toes in, heels out, so that your feet are parallel, and make sure your stance doesn't get too wide. So you can extend your wrists, they can be slightly shorter than the distance underneath your wrists. And then bring your hands to your hips. So we're gonna inhale, the left arm reaches up. Exhale, press into that right hip and send the left arm over the head into a side lateral stretch. And inhale, come back up, and exhale, lower that hand to the hip. Repeat that on the other side. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, push into that hip. Send the right arm over the head. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bring the hand to the hip. Okay, again, inhale, left arm up. Exhale, pressing into that hip, stretch. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hand to hip. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, press, lengthen. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hand to hip. So inhale, left arm is going to reach up. This time as we exhale, we'll chant that full chant. Om Somaya Namaha. Stay here for another inhale. Stay for another exhale. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, left hand to hip. Repeat it again on the other side. Inhale, right arm up. Chant as we go down. Om Somaya Namaha. Stay for the inhale. Lengthen, exhale. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hand to hip. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, left arm up. Chanting. Om Somaya Namaha. Stay. Stay. Inhale up. Exhale, hand to hip. Again, right side. Inhale. Om Somaya Namaha. Stay. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And just bring your arms down by your side for a moment. Feel that lateral length. And we're going to turn our left toes out and come into now the modified triangle, which we have come to know as more of a traditional triangle. Inhale the arms long. Exhale, lengthen over that front leg as far as you can, like someone's pulling your arm. And now take your hand to the shin, ankle, foot, or floor and reach the right arm up in the air. So it doesn't matter which position you're in, be comfortable. So make sure that you can breathe. And as you inhale, send your heart forward a little bit further. Exhale, release the heart, open just a little bit more. Breathe here. Keep expanding through the front and back of the chest. One more breath. Reach into the feet, slowly rise up to standing. Bring your hands to your hips and turn your toes in. Going to do the other side. So extend the right foot, heel to arch alignment. We're still in triangle, same foot position. Inhale the arms long and exhale like someone's pulling your arm. Lengthen over that front leg. When you can't go any further, hand to the shin, ankle, foot, or floor, and then left arm lifts. And once again, press into the ball of the front foot, anchor to the outside of the back foot. Send the sternum away from the pubic bone. Breathe into those areas of spaciousness in the heart, front and back. Keep creating room. Two more. And then, and if you get close to finishing that last one, we're gonna press into the feet, lift the left arm up, slowly rise up, turn your toes in, and bring your hands to your hips to just rest. Take a moment. Turn your left toes out. Pinwheel your fingertips to the floor. Pivot on the ball of your back foot and then step that foot back. So we want to have a lot more space than we have here. So really lengthen the legs. Press the front shin bone away from the back heel. And now engage the legs. So really squeeze the muscle to the bone. Let the sternum come forward. Shoulder blades down the back. All this room and space. You can lighten the load on those fingertips. You can even test that by lifting them for a moment or two. And then if you want padding under your knee, we're going to flip the mat over and lower that knee down and bring both hands on the inside of the foot. Now we're going to turn our left toes out so we have a slight angle. This way when we bend our knee is moving in the same direction as our toes. And then we're going to come nice and low, maybe hands grounded or forearms grounded. We'll get a nice deep stretch there for the hip. If you need a little more space, you can even lift that knee, slide it back another inch or two. And now breathe here. Head and neck is relaxed. Look at your navel or look at your knee. Let go any tension there in the hips, in the lower back. Think of the breath as nourishment. Keep releasing. One more here. And then come off the forearms if they were down, plant the hands and roll now to the outside edge of your left foot, letting that knee open up just a little bit more. So we're now more in a rotator stretch. Good, breathing, grow heavy. Just think of nourishing those areas that were tight or closed off. And then you'll slowly back off of that. Place that foot back into that neutral position. Tuck the back toes under. And now spin that back foot flat. And because your stance was so long, you should be set up for side angle pose. So make sure the heel of the front foot lines up with the arch of the back foot. And you can take your left hand down to the floor. Or if you need a block, use the block. Which we're going to bend deep into that front knee. And now slide the right arm up in the air and come into side angle. So push the arm into the leg into the arm, and we're going to take it into Utthita. So top arm reaches over the head if it's comfortable. Rotate that pinky finger down. Draw the head of the shoulder away from its socket. Breathe deeply here. Now navel rotates to the right. Lean back with the chest. Keep anchoring through the legs so that there's lightness in the upper body and you have the room to do that kind of movement. And now we're going to reach into the feet, reach the right arm up in the air, slowly straighten that front leg, turn and reverse it, right hand to thigh, left arm lifts up, open up into a reverse triangle. And then slowly come back into standing, turn your left toes in, hands to hip, heel toe your feet in so it's not so wide, and just take a moment to rest. Find your breath. Subsequently getting deeper and deeper. And now we come back to this resting pose. And we'll do the other side. So we'll turn the right toes out. We're just going to go backwards on our mat. So we're going to pinwheel our fingertips to the floor, bend the front knee, and now turn the back toes, pivoting on the ball of the back foot, and now slide that leg back. So we're going to go nice and deep in the hips here. Be willing to really extend that leg. And then fingers in a finger stand. Engage the leg, squeeze the muscle to the bone, send the heart forward. This is like your runner's lunge. Breathe. Where are you tight? Send the breath there. And really lighten the load on the fingers, so test them. Try and take them off the floor for a minute, making sure you're not sinking there into those joints. And then flip your mat over, lower that left knee down, and we're going to take the hands on the inside of the foot again. Right toes are going to turn at a slight angle, so when we bend our knee, we're going to make sure that they are at the same distance. And then if you want, you can even tuck the back toes, slide that knee back an inch or two. So you'll either stay here with your hands down, or if you want to go deeper, you're going to go to forearms. And then head and neck is relaxed. And just begin to soften into some of that hip. Notice where there's tension. Here, Om Som. Keep giving in. So you'll encounter some resistance, and then that's that willpower, willingness to let go. And then you'll probably encounter a new set of resistance. And so it's this conscious effort to release and to trust. One more. And then bring your hands under your shoulders. This time you're going to roll to the outside of that foot. So as the knee opens up a little bit more, we're more in a rotator stretch. Breathe here. It's kind of like a pigeon, feels like a pigeon pose. All the things we store in our hips, just let it go. And then gently unwind. Bring that foot back. Now when we tuck the back toes under, mat will release. We're going to spin the back foot flat and front heel lines up with the arch of the back foot. And we're nice and deep, so we should be ready for that side angle. Right hand comes on the inside of the foot. You can always place it on a block. And you're going to draw that left arm across the body and open up. And I'm bending that front knee. Really open the chest to the left. Navel rotates to the left. And then if you're comfortable, moving into Utthita, you're going to press to the outside edge of the back foot, extend the fingers away, rotate that pinky finger down, draw the head and shoulder away from the socket. And it's all legs, so feel that depth of the stretch, the strength in the legs. And the more you use them, the more room there is in the upper body, the more spaciousness. You can lean back a little further, rotate a little deeper. Two more. And now press into the feet. Anchor into that back leg, straighten the front leg. Come into that reverse triangle. Backhand of thigh, or looking at the right palm, opening up that whole line. And then exhale. Hand comes down, turn the toes in, heel toe. Back to center. And it doesn't have to be quite to hip distance apart. You can just come a little wide. Find your breath. Letting everything settle. One more. We want that prana to be nice and smooth, breathing smooth. And then we'll step back to the front of our mats and take a vinyasa. Big toes touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Sun Salutation A. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose. Flat back. Exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank. You can have your knees lowered or lifted, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog, 5 breaths. So listening for
Om Som inside the breath. And now feet together, come onto the balls of your feet. Reach your right leg up in the air. Exhale the left heel down. Inhale the right leg as high as you can and then swing it through. So right knee comes to right wrist. Angle the shin bone. Heel is towards the hip, unless you've got a little more flexibility. And then tucking the back toes under, lift that knee up, extend back through the heel and then lower the knee down. Inhale, heart lifts for pigeon pose, and then exhale, melt over the leg. Repeat that again. Inhale, heart lifts for pigeon pose. Exhale, melt over the leg. One more. Inhale. And this time we'll stay. So you're going to come down. You can have your forearms down to start. Just letting the body acclimate. We've done some work for the hips already, so we've got lots of space in there now. Or we can move forward with the full extension of the arms, forehead to the floor. Get still and really listen for that Om Som, the nourishment. Remember its meaning. One more. Now walk our hands back up. Just lift your chest slightly. We're going to move into a twist. Now if the twist becomes too much, you can go back to the pose we were just in. But we're going to take our left elbow just towards that right knee and then make a fist with the bottom hand, cup with the top, and just twist the torso to the right. Now you can stay here with more of an uprighted twist that keeps some of that pressure off the hip. But if you feel like you can come down, you're going to slowly lower fully into the twist. Then you can extend the left arm long, place the right arm over, and just rest. Just rest here. Let go. Couple more breaths. Om Som. And then slowly unwind the twist. Come back to that neutral position. Hands under the shoulders, tuck the back toes under, extend the right leg all the way up in the air and just let that blood drain out. So you can rotate the ankle around a little bit, whatever you need, and then find your downward facing dog. Take a moment there in the symmetry, settling. And we'll do the other side. So feet together, balls of your feet. Lift the left leg up in the air. Exhale the right heel down. Inhale the left as high as you can. And now swing it through for pigeon on this side. So knee to left wrist. Angle the shin, heel toward the hip unless you've got a little more flexibility. Tuck your back toes under, slide that knee back. And then lower it down. And just really take a moment here to get into position, hips in position. You can use that blanket if you need to. And the top of the foot comes down. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold over the leg. Just give it a moment.
Inhale, lean back into the back bend. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lean back. And now this time we'll stay. So if you want forearms down, taking a moment or two just to settle there. Make sure the pressure is equal in both hips. So just as much of that left hip is stretching, you want to feel the top of the right thigh and foot grounding. Maybe walk forward a little bit more if you're ready to come all the way down, forehead to the mat. Now remember to get still and let the breath be nourishment in the body. Two more. Om Som. And then hands into the shoulders. You're going to lift slightly. And now we're going to do the same thing where we take the right elbow towards the left knee. And then make a fist at the bottom hand and cup with the top. And then push down in that elbow. Keep the torso lifted. You can stay here if you prefer to be in this extended position. Or if it's getting comfortable, you feel that twist, you can extend all the way down, releasing the arms, and just rest the head. Ujjayi breathing, release, let go. And then slowly unwind, take your time. Slide your hands back under your shoulders, tuck your back toes under, and reach left leg all the way up in the air. Rotate the ankle if you need to, and then find downward facing dog. And there's 2 more breaths here. And now lower your knees to the floor. Once again, sit tall on your heels. Just rest your hands comfortably in your lap and sit with the eyes closed. So we're going to move into a deeper twist now. Staying in this position, shift your hips over to the right, and then you're going to let the top of your left foot rest into the arch of the right foot for Bharadvadrasana. Inhale, reach your left arm up, and then cross that arm over your chest. Hook the hand underneath the knee. Take the right hand behind you, puff up your chest, and rotate to the right, looking over that right shoulder. So we're going to stay here for a little while and really get into the twist. So try your best to draw heavy through the left knee. Continue to look over that right shoulder, getting the maximum amount of twist that you can in this position. And because it's kind of awkward and because we're really moving deep into the fascial system here, it might take a few extra breaths to really allow the body to go, okay, this is what we're doing. I can relax here.
And once you kind of feel that shift, then you're going to turn your gaze over your left shoulder and you're going to tilt your left ear towards your left shoulder. So now we're going to stretch into the top of the right shoulder and neck, all the way up into the jawline. And it's an awkward twist, but there's so many pieces that get reached here in areas of the body that we don't typically reach in other postures. So breathe here. Om Som. Continually sending the navel to the right. One more. And then gently come out of this. So release the head first to neutral, slowly unwind the twist, and then come back to sitting tall on your heels, hand in the lap, and just let everything adjust because it's very deep. You might find there's different parts of the body that got stretched that don't typically get stretched. And then we'll do the other side. So we'll shift our hips to the left. And again, we're going to take the top of the right foot into the arch of the bottom foot. Kind of seals it there. And then left hand goes behind you. Now you're going to rotate the navel to the left and do your best to puff up the chest. Take the right arm up in the air. And now cross that arm over the body. Hook the hand underneath the knee. And then continue to rotate to the left. The arm keeps it slightly bound. So as much as possible, try to free the torso from the hips and push the right knee down and away. Stay heavy through the legs. And take plenty of time for the body to acclimate. And once you get that maximum twist, then change your gaze so you're looking down over your right shoulder and then tilt your right ear towards your right shoulder. And now feel the heart freeing up all that release for the neck. Keep finding areas that need that nourishment. One more. And then you're going to gently unwind head, then body, then sit back on the heels and rest. Hand in the lap, still, quiet mind. One more. And keeping that frame of stillness in the mind, fold your mat over and let your knees rest on the mat. You can fold it a couple times if you need to. Dynamic camel pose. So point your fingertips up your back. Tuck your back toes under if you need a little more support. And then we're going to inhale, lean the chest back. And as we lean the chest back, bring the hips forward. so they stay in alignment with the knees, and then slowly contract your abdomen to bring your torso back to neutral. So we'll do that again. Inhale, lean back, keep the hips forward, lengthen through the waist. Exhale, contract the abdomen, bring the torso back to neutral. Okay, so we're going to do that with a chant. So you're going to inhale, opening up into that back bend. Exhale, Om Somaya Namaha. Again, inhale. So you got to really deepen the inhale. Om Somaya Namaha. Again. Om Somaya Namaha. Two more. Om Somaya Namaha. Last one. Om Somaya Namaha. Sit back on your heels, release your mat, rest. And then we'll come down onto our backs. So once you come down, have your feet flat, knees bent, lightly touch your heels with your fingertips if you'd like to make sure that those feet are close enough to the hips, and then make sure the feet are also parallel. Press equally into both of them and just lift your tailbone off the floor. So don't come up very high, and exhale, release the tailbone and feel that difference. And inhale, lift the tailbone and the sacrum, just a little bit, and exhale, release them down. Now tailbone, sacrum, and just the lower back. You gotta really try to control that and release them, let them go down. Inhale, tailbone, sacrum, lower back, now middle back. Exhale, slowly release it, go down. Relax the glutes entirely. Now, tailbone, sacrum, lower back, middle back, all the way into the upper back. And exhale, slowly roll down. Take your time to come down. Relax the glutes completely. Again, all the way up. All the way down on exhale. Feel the anchoring through the feet. Again, breath is nourishment, just taking it deeper each time into the body. One more. Very nice. And from this position, you're going to extend the legs all the way down to the floor and bring the legs and feet together, arms down by your side. Walk your feet over to the right, but try to keep the legs and the feet together. So you're just going to go to that area that you can best reach while the legs and feet stay together. Now in the upper body, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to take upper body over to the right as far as you can. Now again, legs and feet have to stay together. Both hips should remain on the floor. Inhale, the left arm sweeps up and over the head, and we're going to come into this full half moon shape with the body
Right hand reaches down the thigh and breathe here. Now, just like in those other postures, we're going to stay for a little bit so we can really sink into the nourishment here. And the key to this posture is letting those hips stay heavy. So we're actually stretching deeply, not only into the lateral, but into the psoas, which connects from the pelvic floor through the lower lumbar spine. And it's a very deep muscle that tends to get very tight. It's often due to all the sitting that we do. And so you might feel that stretch deep along the left side of the abdomen. Breathe into that. Send your nourishment there. Let those fibers lengthen. As you take the navel in and up under the rib cage on exhalation, you actually get a deeper stretch. We've done a lot of warming up in the body today in these areas so that this can get really deep. 2 more. And when you finish your last breath, slowly release your legs back first. Take your time with this. We're here for a while. And then slowly the torso. And then shift any way you need to on your mat to feel completely comfortable. Legs and feet together again, arms bound by your side. And you might feel a big difference between that left side body and the right side body. And then we'll do the same thing. We're going to walk the feet over to the left. Again, only to the feet and legs can stay together. That's the key. And now upper body is going to go to the left. Left arm reaches down the leg. Right arm will come up and over the head to complete the half moon shape. And now notice the difference, where that start, where the tension is. Now grow heavy through the hips. Breathe into this. Notice that muscle I was referring to, that psoas, deep along the side of the abdomen. Send the nourishment there. Om Som. How far can you get your breath into those areas that are tight? Remember, as you pull your abdomen in and up on exhalation, it might cause a little bit of a deepening of the stretch. All those fibers. One more. Very nice. And then slowly come back. Take your time, legs, then upper body, and just settle back into that neutral position. Notice the balance now between right and left sides. Keep the right leg grounded. Lift the left leg up in the air. Now you can wrap your arm around your leg, a strap, or you can hook the index middle thumb around the big toe. Plant your right hand on top of your hip bone and flex your right foot. So as you lift up through the heel of the extended leg, pull that pinky toe side of the foot down. And just give a nice stretch to the back of the leg. We've done a lot of work on lengthening in the torso. So be gentle here. If you need a bend in the knee, take it. And then we're going to extend that left leg out to the side. And now keep the right hip anchored so you can put a little pressure there into the hand. Maybe even grab onto that bony protrusion, the ASIS. And then really let the inner thigh of this left leg open up. And send your breath down into the pelvic floor. Nourishment into the whole body. Two more, let go. And now we're going to slowly take that leg back up. And now can you cross it over the body and switch your hands either on the strap, on the leg, or on the foot. You can even reach for the outside edge of the foot if it's comfortable. And now left arm opens up, full twist now. Feel the outside edge of that hip stretching. Navel rotates to the left, left shoulder sinks down, bottom supporting leg stays firm. And you might even feel a little engagement there of the upper inner thighs pulling in toward the pelvic floor. Breathe deeply. Where does the body need nourishment? Om Som. And then slowly come out of that. Left leg will lift. And then we'll repeat this on the other side. So square off to your mat. Extend both legs down to the floor. Take the right leg up into the air. Hook the index middle thumb around the big toe. Or you can reach for the leg. Or you can utilize a strap. So left supporting leg stays firm. Flex that foot. Reach up through the heel of the extended leg. Pull the pinky toe side of that foot down. Again, we didn't spend a lot of time in forward folds today, so if you need that micro bend in the back of the knee, you can take it. Breathe here. And one more, lift through the heel. And now this leg's going to go out to the side. Left hand goes onto that hip. And just take it as far as it'll go. Breathe into it. See if you can maybe even separate the pelvis a little bit by pulling on the ASIS in the opposite direction. And then you're just going to let that leg settle. Let the weight of the arm do the stretching. Just like any of those other postures we did, send the breath in there. Be patient. Let it go. Whatever's gripping and holding in this pelvic area, inner thighs, the groin, let it release. One more here. And now slowly coming out of that, we're going to come back to center. We're going to cross the leg over the body. You can switch your hands on your strap or on your leg or index middle thumb around the big toe. You can also reach for the outside edge of the foot. Coming into that twist, bottom leg stays as straight as possible. Rotate the navel to the right and breathe. Feel the pelvic floor, those inner thighs pulling slightly up towards the pelvic floor. Navel's deeply rotating. Right shoulder head grows heavy. You can gaze over the arm if you'd like, or keep the neck neutral, whatever's better for your neck. Send that loving breath into those tight areas. Two more full, complete breaths. And then you'll gently release. Come back to the center. Square yourself off on your mat. You can have your feet flat, knees bent for a moment. Let your knees fall into one another and just rest here. And then hug them into the chest. If you want to rock a little from side to side on the spine. And we'll prepare here for Shavasana. So final relaxation, legs a little longer. Sorry, legs extend long to the floor. Toes open up wide. Arms down by your side, palms face up. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. If you're in a lighted room, you might want to put a blanket or a gentle piece of cloth or eye pillow over your eyes. And just settle in. And here, feel the whole earth supporting you, that the true nourishment comes from Prakriti, nature itself, especially in its purest form. It's that divine feminine Mother Earth, abundant, always selflessly giving. And as you settle into the rest of that, the breath releases, no longer needing to shape or control it. And just be. Now, as you rest here on the earth, notice the feeling of prana circulating through the body. As we released some of those deep areas of tension, freeing up perhaps some energy that had been stagnant or stuck. And so really observing the results of the deep work. And then you can start to run your thumb across your fingertips. And you can start to move the toes, just wiggling them. And roll wrists and ankles, feeling freedom in the movement. And draw your knees into your chest. Take a moment there just to settle. Give a little stretch to the lower back. Curl to the left side. Rest in fetal for just a moment. Arm under the head as a pillow. And then hand into the earth. Slowly come back up into seated. Head and neck heavy, eyes closed as you come up, and take a moment to find a prop for your sit bones, blanket, bolster, or just any comfortable seated position. And with the eyes closed, sit with a tall spine, relaxed body. Now I want you to imagine that you're sitting on the edge of a gently flowing stream. Pure, clean mountain water. The most pristine stream or even river that you've ever been around. And we're going to take in the nourishment of the water from this stream. So the word we're going to use is different than we've been doing through the practice, which we were taking in the nourishment of soma, and in particular more of that moon energy of soma. But here we're going to be taking in the jala, the water, and the nourishment that comes from the water element. So I want you to physically move this way. You're going to keep your eyes closed, but imagine leaning forward, or come forward rather, and scoop some water into your hands, like you were cupping them in your hands. And you're going to take that water first, and you're going to bring it over the head. You're going to pour that water over the head. Now, as the water pours down, you're going to open your hands up and kind of frame the body with the palms facing you. Nice and slow, as if the water were just gently falling from the head, down the torso, down the legs and knees, and off the body. And then you're going to scoop some more water up. And this time we're going to pour that water into the third eye. And then we're going to let the body just be framed by the hands, pouring down. We'll scoop some more water up in our palms, cupping that fresh, pristine water. And now pour some of that into the throat. And your hands can just frame down. And we're going to scoop some more water up. And we're going to pour that into the heart. Just receive it into the heart. Just absorbing it. And then we're going to gently lower the hands down. Scoop some more water up. Pour it into the solar plexus, rather. And scoop some more water up. We're going to pour it into the sacral area. And scoop some water up. And then just imagine, to the best of your ability, pouring it into the root, absorbing that there. And we'll do that again. Inhale, scoop the water up. You're going to pour it over the crown of the head and frame the body. Just all the way down the water, the nourishment from the water, all the way down the body. Scoop the water up. And now pour it into the third eye and just absorb it into the third eye. And hands can just come down, framing the body. Scoop the water up. Pour it into the throat. Absorb it into the throat. Hands can frame the body. Scoop some water up. Pour it right into the heart. Absorb it into the heart. Scoop the water up. Pour it into the solar plexus. Absorbing it in the solar plexus. Scooping that sacred water. Bringing it now into the sacral area. Scoop the water. And now absorb it as best you can into the root. And then one more over the whole body. So scoop the water up. Bring it over the top of the head and now just pour it all over the whole body and just frame the body with your hands. And then when you finish, there's no rush. Let your hands just rest on your knees. And sit for a moment feeling filled with nourishment. Feel your cup is full. Every cell is full. Heart is full. And bring your hands back to your heart center. Thumbs touch the sternum, bow the head. And just go back to our intention, our goal to replenish, rejuvenate. And we'll seal the practice with the chant of Om Somaya Namaha. Deep inhale in. Om Somaya Namaha. Namaste.